Good morning and welcome to another edition of Inside Leisure with me, Zoe Cooper. And this morning we're joined by Jim Hawkins, the Managing Director of the Training Group. The Training Group are an ATC with STA, delivering life-saving, first aid, pool plant and STA's unregulated qualifications. Morning, Jim. How are you this morning?
Morning, Zoe. How are you?
I'm really great, thanks. Yeah, apart from the weather, it's a bit dull.
Yeah, it's actually rainy where we are, like quite rainy. So contrast to yesterday where it was bright blue sky and sunshine and sunglasses on.
Yeah, and you're right by the beach, aren't you, in Devon?
Yeah, we're right on the coast. So sometimes we get the best of both worlds. The weather can be really good or it can be really bad.
Oh, no. So, may I start by asking you a little bit about the training group, what you kind of offer, and how long have you been ATC?
Sure. So we joined STA quite a while ago, back in 2015, and we decided that STA was one of the awarding bodies we were going to go with because they offer quite a lot of qualifications that we deliver. So your pool lifeguarding, your first aid, your pool plant, those kind of aspects within leisure. And we decided that actually that was going to be the forefront of what was going to drive forward with our business. A lot of our clients prefer STA as a natural resource going forward. So we decided that was sort of a no-brainer, if you like, with where we're going to go. And particularly for as a awarding body in terms of setting up courses, the quality assurance, the head office team, been really great. So actually, particularly even during lockdown, it's something that we can actually say we're happy to work with such a great awarding body such as STA.
Oh, it's amazing to hear, Jim. Thank you. So you've kind of been in the game quite a while. How have you seen the leisure industry, I suppose, change?
Yeah, I've been around quite a while, I guess, in different aspects as well, so, and different parts of the UK and obviously internationally. So yeah, it has changed quite a bit, and particularly with lockdown. But actually, it's still nice to see that leisure is still here, just I think, as an industry. So I think fingers crossed. So I think as an industry, it's been around for a long time, and hopefully there always will be your swimming pools, your gyms, your areas for exercise and sort of socializing where sort of throughout different cities, towns, villages. So hoping that fingers crossed it's going to see us through. I'm sure it will.
I'm sure it will. We'll get there. So well over 12 months ago now, STA launched our new lifeguarding qualification, which was a 3-year revalidation mapping to first aid at work. How have you found delivering it as a tutor, and have you seen any benefits to the operator at all?
We felt that the operator have gone quite well with this hand in hand, so it mirrors their first aid. There's obviously been a bit of a catch up where you've got certain sort of staff that have maybe 2 years into a qualification or maybe 3 years. So then there's that aspect where people have to catch up within the pool lifeguard. But we found that definitely from a cost saving exercise for the operator, 100% is one main reason. And also they see less of me. So it's now only every 3 years. So, in terms of a standard and sort of what we're putting out there as the lifeguard, what you like to call the gold standard, I guess, it hasn't changed. In fact, actually, it's probably only got better. But actually, us as tutors, and hopefully other tutors that are watching this will agree. I think we've sort of managed to get there finally with a qualification that's being able to meet the needs of the industry rather than perhaps what's just been done in the past, as always. And it's nice to see STA, I guess, putting their neck out there at the first instance, because I think there was quite a bit of backlash in regards to that. But actually, here we are a year on and moving forward, and hopefully, the proof will be in the pudding, so to speak, that Absolutely. In another 5 years' time, perhaps we'll have another chat like this, and everybody will also be following the same suit. So it's nice that STA are almost leading the way with their qualifications. So
no, that's amazing to hear. So obviously March this year we came to a bit of a standstill in lockdown. How did you cope with that, and what have you been doing to keep yourselves busy, forward planning, etc.?
Sure. So we actually took an unusual approach. So during lockdown, we took over and bought another business.
Wow.
Yeah, so while everyone else was sort of keeping their cards close to their chest, there's us expanding. That was actually a pre-arranged contract, so it was not something that we could have changed even if we wanted to. Not that we did, but so we just sort of had to suck it up and get on with it. But we're really glad we did, because we're busier than ever now, and expanding quite rapidly. We just moved into some new offices here and down in Devon, so we've got our training centre all set up. So essentially, lockdown's been quite busy for us, and actually, I was really thankful for a lesser amount of time, so I could then see through the transition and the progression that we've done. However, that said, we didn't stop totally. We we still continuing doing essential worker skills, and a few other bits with clients in terms of like ongoing training, that kind of thing. So really, we're obviously taking advantage of things like remote learning as well. So like what we're doing here, Zoom, Microsoft Teams. So we really took advantage of that. And actually that was new for everybody, not only just us. So getting in, sort of encouraging aspects from that. Although it's very different to a classroom environment. You know, whilst I can see you here, it's very easy just for you to say, yep, sure, I understand that, no problem. And I don't really have a gauge. I can't really see your face that well. I can't sort of get those emotions. So I kind of just have to take it as read and you know, have you really understood what I've said? So it's nice that you've got the remote learning aspect, but then you can fit it together, which is what we did with a lot of courses after lockdown. We then sort of arranged with the candidates to meet face to face and finish off those courses. So it's always nice. You're not going to get away totally with doing CPR just over the computer.
No. So how do you envisage, like post-lockdown, how you're going to deliver your courses? Do you think you'll go back to how you used to, or offer a bit of blended learning?
Well, I think that blended learning has always been the way forward. It's been around for quite a while, particularly within the first aid world. Particularly now with lockdown, I think everybody sort of had to get on board with the whole delivering via remotely. And actually, that was one of the reasons why our colleague whose business we bought actually stopped, because they were sort of not wanting to go into that world, sadly. So although it wasn't anything untoward, it was just pushed a few months forward as opposed to when it would have been. So in that respect, I think everybody sort of had to get on board, whether you like it or not. And essentially, I think going forward, it's going to be that way. I think a lot of courses now, which you were finding, were going to be sort of 4, 5, 6 days out of the workplace. I think now we're going to be only sort of 2 or 3 days physically in a classroom. And then I think the other bits will be made up, like what we're doing over remotely, over the computer.
Yeah, absolutely. And just one final question, really. You guys have registered to deliver our unregulated qualifications, which is great. Have you got any kind of plans with that? Have you ran any already?
So we did quite a big push internationally with a few colleagues of ours over when we did some work over in the Middle East, and I actually lived over there for a while. And essentially, we sort of worked quite closely with STA to deliver a lot of their qualifications over abroad. Additionally, areas like China, Australia. So we're really pleased to see that actually STA brought out some form of sort of backbone to those qualifications. Because although it was great that we had sort of PDF manuals at the time, that was quite new. And obviously delivering the qualification was really no different to back home here in the UK. But we were still delivering that UK off-qual regulated sort of qualification, and it didn't quite work with how we were delivering it internationally. So it's nice to see that, and we've actually got a course upcoming in the next month, well, October. So we're going to actually see how it's going to go and actually be put together with now this new unregulated international version. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it should be worthwhile.
Yeah, it'd be great to kind of catch up post that course to gain your feedback.
No problem at all. Yeah, absolutely happy to.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your time this morning, Jim. It's been great to catch up with you, and it seems like you've been very busy.
Yeah, no worries, Zoe. Thanks so much for your time.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.